In this video I'm gonna show you how I created this bridge collapse scene all inside of Blender. This was a pretty challenging project to pull off because the whole point of this was to push Blender's destruction effects to their absolute extreme. You see, Blender's native destruction tools are decent, but it quickly gets pretty limited when you try to create high budget looking destruction effects. Some things that are kind of non-negotiable simply don't exist natively in Blender, like creating noisy fracture edges, advanced constraints, and a dynamically spawned smoke and particles when the chunks break apart. Most 3D artists would simply switch to Houdini for this, or go with one of the pre-existing paid destruction add-ons, but I wanted to see just how far we could push Blender as it is using some interesting techniques. The key ingredient to any destruction sim is the fracturing, and this is where our first challenge becomes clear. When you use standard Blender cell fracturing, you get these straight edges that simulate well but don't look very convincing up close. In real life, concrete doesn't break apart in straight clean lines. We expect to see noisy detailed edges. This is a problem that I set out to solve a while back, and I think I did it quite well. The idea is to scrap the standard cell fracture and instead use a geometry nodes based cutter. This way we have complete control over these planes here that cut the object apart, and we can also create two versions of the pieces, one collection with straight edges for simulation and one with noisy edges for rendering. This gives us the absolute best of both worlds. We get clean, performant collisions and realistic looking cracks and breaks in the final image. And to my understanding, this is actually pretty close to how studios handle destruction in high budget scenes. So the fracturing is taken care of by this GeoNodes cutter that I made, and then I have a script that automatically parents the noisy pieces to the closest proxy piece, turning a very simple simulation from something like this to this. With that piece of the puzzle solved, it's time to start working on the bridge model itself. I modeled everything around this curve and used the new array modifier to build out the bridge using different assets that I quickly put together. I decided to have this metal structure beneath the concrete to give some layering to the destruction, and I went for a suspension bridge look so we can get some nice wire simulation into it. And here I drew a lot of inspiration from this bridge in my city and brought in some materials from Polyhaven to give it some texture. Then I went through and fractured all of this using the workflow we created earlier, and now we have all of these pieces that make up the simulation. At this point it was time to work on arguably the most important step of destruction simulation: constraining. Blender's native constraints creator works fine on small scenes like my old destruction tutorials, but when it comes to large scale sims like this, it cannot keep up. So the way I handle constraining now is with a combination of a GeoNode setup and some simple scripting. The idea is to calculate the position of each constraint using this node tree here, and then all the script does is place out the constraints and assign the closest pieces. This also has the benefit that we can control the constraining a lot more, like how many constraints each piece can have and how far each constraint can look. It's not perfect, but it's miles ahead of the native constraining tool, and crucially it actually works on larger scenes. I did have to go through and constrain it in 3 different chunks though, because it started to get a little bit slow. If you like this type of breakdown videos, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I do tutorials and breakdowns and all that kind of good stuff, so yeah, if you want to stick around for that, consider subscribing. So with the constraints created, our pieces now stick together like this in chunks, giving it some much needed structural strength. To get these wires, I simulated them as this array of tubes with constraints between them. Then I exported this as an alembic and ran this simulation node setup on it. This basically looks at the closest vertices on frame 1 and then keeps those connected throughout the simulation until they reach a certain threshold and then they break. This allowed me to turn this array of tubes into a solid smooth wire that still interacts with rigid bodies in the scene. Another effect that I wanted to have in this simulation, which I only had seen previously done in Houdini, are these dynamically created rebars inside of the concrete. I saw this YouTube breakdown by this Houdini user and thought that maybe we can create something like this with simulation nodes. The logic is pretty simple. We need to stretch rebars across the gaps between the pieces, and when they reach a certain length, we need to snap them apart and have them follow their parent piece instead. Simpler said than done, but after countless of hours of trial and error and 7 versions of this node tree, I had a fully working rebar simulation system. This would probably have been a lot easier for someone with a better understanding of nodes, but I'm more or less learning this from scratch now in 2026. but it's better to start now than never. One thing I will say though, there's nothing quite like the kick when a huge node tree like this finally works. In high-budget destruction simulations, a crucial part of selling the realism are the smoke and particle effects. This sort of acts like the visual glue that brings the scene together, and without it, it's really hard to reach photorealistic territory. The good news is that Blender can simulate both smoke and particles quite well, but the bad news is that we're missing one key component: the emission logic. You see, if we just add smoke to all of the pieces, it would look like the whole bridge was emitting smoke constantly, which isn't very realistic. You can see that exact issue here in my old house destruction video, where we're missing that logic, where it's put smoke where the pieces break apart, and not over the entire building. But with my newfound basic understanding of simulation nodes, I reckon I can solve that. The idea was to load in all of the pieces as a collection, check only for the internal faces, and then run a simulation that only displays the faces that just separated from each other during the simulation. This leaves us with an emitter object that looks something like this, and if we use this to emit the smoke and particles, we get a much more convincing result. One issue though was that I couldn't solve the initial velocity to work with this, so I had to disable that. If there are any GeoNodes experts in the comments, feel free to give me a little pointer there. Now it was time to add some cars to this bridge in order to show off the scale and add some dramatic flair. I got my vehicles from this Sketchfab user and used a simple randomized color shader to get some variation. Then I gave the cars some Swedish number plates, and then it was time to simulate them on this bridge. At first I considered using normal rigid bodies for them, but I felt it would be a little anticlimactic when I put so much effort into the destruction so far. So I decided to go for a bit of a cheat code method instead: lattice deformation. I scaled this lattice to fit around the cars like a bounding box, and then gave it some soft body simulation with a lot of stiffness and plastic deformation enabled. The plastic deformation mimics how metal deforms and then stays in that deformed state, and with a lattice modifier on the car, I could assign this deformation to the vehicle. Super simple, very performant, and now you can see we have some deformation when the cars get crushed beneath the concrete. At this point it was time to tackle the water effect when the bridge collapses into the river here. At first I wanted to use a real liquid sim, but this is an area that I don't have that much experience in, and the scene was already getting really heavy. So I decided to fake the look with a simple dynamic paint water surface and some white smoke to act as the splashing water. To be fair, this didn't turn out super convincing, but for some quick passing by shots, it was close enough in my opinion. Finally, to bring it all together, I created a simple background scene with some trees and water, but since we're all here for the destruction, I won't go into it too deeply. I'll just mention one thing though, that I cannot stress enough when it comes to scattering a ton of high poly assets like this. Use this node setup on the trees themselves that switches to a low poly proxy in the viewport. Then you scatter normally using a hair system or a GeoNode scatter, and you'll be able to render millions and millions of polygons quite efficiently. Now with all of these methods combined, the noisy fracture, the wire simulation, the rebar and the smoke, this was the final effect. Thank you so much for watching. I know I've been really slow at uploading recently, but I hope to be able to get into a more consistent upload schedule coming into next month. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.